Like so many of us who've been playing D&D for a while, I really enjoy characters that go against type somewhat. This can mean a few things. It can either just be a simple class and race combination that is a little out of the ordinary, such as the Orc Wizard, or it can simply be a role-playing thing, such as the Life Domain Cleric who's actually evil, or the Infernal Pact Warlock who, rather than being edgy and dark, is actually sparkles and cheerful laughter all day long. Now, unlike some people I know who enjoy going against type in this way, I still like things to be at least reasonably effective. Sometimes I'll hear people or read people on Reddit say things like, oh, I played through an entire campaign as my 8 intelligence orc wizard, and I was absolutely useless at everything, but it was a great role-playing challenge. And there's room for that style of play, I'll admit it, but it's not something I would personally enjoy doing. And I think if I was at a table with someone whose character was intentionally ineffective, I'd be kind of annoyed. I'll be entirely honest. I try to not be as munchkinny as I can be, but there is part of me that when someone creates a character that is just bad at what they set out to do, yeah, it kind of annoys me. So, with that in mind, I would like to present to you Lady Fellfoot the Brave, Halfling Paladin. And halflings are not naturally built towards paladins, especially strength paladins. A lightfoot can actually be pretty good if you're going for a dexterity-based paladin. They've got all of the benefits there. But yeah, strength-based paladins usually no. And the idea I'm going for with Lady Fellfoot is, well, it's a take on the traditional image of a mighty human paladin sitting on the back of a warhorse, gleaming armour, lance in hand. And Lady Fellfoot is pretty much that, except scaled down somewhat. Rather than riding an enormous warhorse, she's riding quite a small dog. Think of her as a less furry version of Sir Didymus from Labyrinth, perhaps. So, the build for this I've put together is at level 5. Level 5 means that she can guarantee that she has a mount on hand through the Find Steed spell, through which she will of course grab a Mastiff, a friendly big old dog for her to ride into battle. Her Paladin Oath will be the Oath of Devotion, because that kind of fits in with the character I have in mind, someone who is effervescently, effortlessly cheerful, just confident, incredibly brave, doesn't see her small stature as being any sort of problem or hindrance when it comes to charging into battle to save her friends and to make the world a better place. As far as equipment goes, the most important thing is some decent armour and the lance. Lances are great. I love lances. They are single-handed, 10-foot reach, D12 weapons. The downside, of course, is that you really need to be on a mount for them to be in any way effective. And usually that's quite tricky to do because not very many D&D battles take place in open fields. Some of them do, of course, but as adventurers, quite often you find you are going into tombs, into crypts, into, well, dungeons. And it's kind of hard to fit a 10-foot horse plus another 5 foot of torso down those narrow stairs. A dog, though, a dog doesn't have any real problems. So that means that Lady Fellfoot the Brave can pretty easily get through most dungeons without too much hassle. As she is wielding that lance in one hand, that leaves one hand free for the shield. And if we can get our hands on plate armour, which is possible by level 5, it's perfectly possible, then she'll have a awesome 20 armor class. As far as stats go, obviously we've got as much strength as we can, namely 16, so only a +3. So compared to a character that starts off with that 16 strength and then takes the extra 2 strength from the level 4 level up, she's marginally less effective, -1 to hit and -1 on the damage, but she more than makes up for it with fun. The skills, well, skills are entirely up to you, really. I've gone for animal handling from her folk hero background because I feel that fits someone who's really acting as a cavalier kind of paladin. So there we have it, a tiny, brave ball of cheerfulness and death to her foes, riding on the back of an adorable dog. Now, this does mean you have to be pretty au fait with the mounted combat rules, but they aren't that complicated in 5e. Honestly, it's not that bad. Anyway, I will stick up a link to a PDF for Lady Fellfoot's character sheet in the description. Let me know if there are any other kind of interesting builds you would like me to take a look at, and I will see you very soon. Thank you very much.